Hello! Welcome to Witches and Wine, our second episode. I'm Lola Stardust, and we are going to be talking to one of our coven members about some pretty cool stuff. It has to do with ghosts again. But before we start that, let's go ahead and talk about the wine that we're drinking tonight. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to our resident wine connoisseur, Silenus. Why don't you tell us what we're drinking tonight, honey?
Hi, everybody. Tonight's wine, as she was saying, it has to do with ghosts. So I came across a wine from Bogle Vineyards out of California, known as Phantom. It has to do...
There we go.
It is a dry red blend with flavors of plum and spice in it. Very nice. And they made the wine in honor of their ancestors who first bought the plot of land where they grow their wine now, their grapes. And so they wanted to honor them, so they made one in honor of their spirits that they say still haunt the territory. So very nice, runs about $20 a bottle. Very, very well worth the money.
Yeah, it's good, it's dry, it's spicy, it's plummy. It's Phantom.
So I'm going to go ahead and step out now and introduce you and have Lola introduce you to our guest.
Why don't you show the bottle? I like to show the bottle a little more. Phantom, and can you read what's below that?
Yes, across the bottom they named it with mysterious and hauntingly seductive. Sounds like a pretty good bottle to me.
Sexy. All right, get out of here. All right, come over here. Come over here. This is Willow. Let's toast. Let's take a drink. We're going to talk to Willow about something that she does that is pretty darn cool. She is a ghost hunter. And every time I say that, I think of Ghostbusters, and that song starts going. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. Willow, when did you... You had mentioned earlier that you lived in a haunted house as a child?
Yes, as a child.
And that's kind of what exposed you to the whole ghost thing. Can you elaborate on that experience?
When we moved into our house in Airway Heights, from the get-go we moved in there, stuff was always happening.
Yeah.
And I was, 9 years old? Of course, I named it George. But yeah, there was always something going on in the house, something, twisting the lights and the sounds, walking in the attic, but it wasn't anything you can walk on. It was just beams, but you can hear the heel to toe walking across the ceilings.
Oh, wow. Did you ever see George?
Yes, I have seen George.
And is George still with you?
George's still at the house with my daughter.
Oh, that's the house. Okay. Wow.
I still own the house in Airway Heights.
Oh, okay. And what does George look like?
George is, I would say he's about 5'5", 5'6", and he actually, if you saw, the way I can describe him, he looks like Graybeard, but shorter hair.
Yeah.
With the beard and everything, but shorter hair.
Graybeard is our elder that we were in People of the Woods with and initiated us and all that, yes. So that is what, at a young age, you were like, oh, ghosts, and got you interested in wanting to know more about why they are and where they're from or what they're doing there.
Exactly.
Okay, so can you tell me about your organization that you were in here in Spokane? It was Spokane...
It's Spokane Haunts.
Spokane Haunts.
I'm one of the founders of Spokane Haunts. We get calls quite regularly.
Are you still part of?
I do a few things with it. Otherwise, it's my other co-founder plus Tri-State Paranormal works with us to go take care of some stuff. And then I started 10 years. Maybe a little longer, in California with California Haunts.
Awesome. And do you remember, did you, before you formed these groups, did you do ghost hunting before the groups and then decided to form a group, or was it, okay.
No, I didn't do ghost hunts before. They were just there.
Okay. And so, can you tell me about some of your experiences, ones, ghost hunts that have kind of stick out in your mind, some interesting ones?
Oh.
You're like, do we have time? No, yeah.
Basically, for some reason, ghosts are attracted to me, and they like to mess with me when we're out on these ghost hunts.
Well, maybe if you stop putting your name on Ghost Date. Not just on, it's a joke because, dating ghosts. But
So,
G-Date.
Oh, we did a theater in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point it was a theater, and then it ended up into basically like a brothel area, then went back to a theater.
Oh, wow.
And this one gentleman liked hookers, so I got to dress up like the Hoochie Mama.
Oh, you have to dress up to attract the ghost?
Yes.
Do you have pictures?
California Haunts does.
We gotta. So can we Google that? California Haunts?
They don't have them posted.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Email.
Who's the contact person? So you dressed up like a Hoochie Mama to attract this ghost. What happened? Did the ghost come out?
Oh, well, not the one we wanted, but others.
Really?
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot when do you have a focus on a ghost? Like, does someone say, there's this ghost that's hanging out, and then sometimes you're like, there's other ones too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We do that, but sometimes we primarily go for, if it's at a business or something, we go for the one that is more predominant, but you can't call them always out.
Yeah.
Others show up.
Oh, that's so cool. Now, do you have any other ones that stick out in your mind besides dressing up like a hooker?
It was another one. We was in Eureka, there in California. And we were having just a conversation, and we had one of these talking boxes. I can't remember which one it was. And
a talking box?
It picks up the words, and it'll repeat the words to you.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
And it was about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was getting hungry. My belly was growling.
Yeah.
And I said, God, I'm hungry. And the comment that came across said, then eat.
So like a smart-ass ghost.
Yes.
They like to...
Yeah.
They kind of give you attitude, huh?
They do give you attitude. I've been told to get the hell out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, do you... So since you are very aware of ghosts, and we had a conversation with our coven sister last week, Aurora.
Yes. With Aurora.
Is this something that you can turn off? Like, have you ever been somewhere and you're like, I'm really not in the mood for ghosts to be coming around? Can you turn it off?
Yeah, you sure can.
How do you do that?
It's like a light switch.
Like how? Like what?
You just project it out in your mind to say,
Not
business is closed or open.
Yeah.
You have to turn it off or else it'll drive you crazy.
Have you had to practice that? Was that something you had to learn to do?
Yes, I had to learn how to do it. Otherwise, they were in my face.
All the time?
Yes. I'm not like Aurora where she can have more one-on-one conversations. Mm-hmm. I can hear some stuff when they want me to or see them when they want me to, but I can't have that conversation.
Yeah.
That she does.
Our dogs, again, they're very much part of the show, so you'll hear them, and they like to put in their 2 cents worth. Or 2 cents woof. Oh, my gosh. Let's drink some more wine. Let's toast to really bad humor. All right. So, before we go into your case, she has a suitcase here of goodies. We do have people... We have a live studio audience of... Technically, 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask?
Have you ever been scared off of a investigation?
Yeah,
where was this too much and you're like, I'm out of here?
No, I haven't really been scared yet.
Really?
I don't want to get to that point.
Has there been a time when you've been close where you're like, this is freaky?
No, not towards me. No.
Have you seen it towards others?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's creepy.
But nothing has affected me to that point that it's too scary to go into.
Okay.
Or to do.
And you've been doing this how long?
For over 10 years.
So that's pretty good. That, because you see those TV shows. I always bring up TV. I brought it up last week.
I mean, I like watching them. Mm-hmm. They do have legit stuff that they real stuff that they're actually doing. But the other stuff is because it's TV, so it's hyped up.
Yeah, yeah.
So, my first ones that I started watching was Zach Bagans, and Ghost Adventures. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of gotten a little crazy over the years, and it's all because of TV production. Mm-hmm. Their bosses are saying, "You got to do this, or we're just going to cut you out."
Yeah, because like you said, sometimes the ghosts don't come out.
No, they don't come out. You can't
force them.
Force them. They're not going to do. And the main question people ask, I get it all the time: why is it only at night? Ghosts are there 24/7.
Yeah,
they're there 24/7. But we do it at night because there's less noise. Dogs are not barking. You don't hear the traffic. Airplanes ain't going overhead.
There's not.
It's quieter.
Yeah.
No white noise.
Yeah, that answers a question for me. I've never even thought about that, but that does make sense. Yeah, it's not like a certain hour at night the ghosts are like, okay, time for us to come out.
They do say there is that witching hour between the midnight and 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
You get some activity, but if that ghost is going to act up, it's any time.
Yeah. Exactly.
So.
Do we have any other questions? Anything? Oh, you have a question? Okay, my 9-year-old is sitting over here. So, let's go ahead and open up your bag of goodies. Why don't we look at this thing first and explain what it is?
I have dowsing rods, which you can find, the energy, spirit activity.
Yeah.
Not just for water.
How many of those do you have? You have a bunch.
I have 3 sets.
Can I hold this?
I want to hold one of them sets.
Is that yours?
This is mine.
Okay, can you explain why that's yours?
It's like using stones or
it's just you've developed a relationship.
Right. It's mine. This one works for me. This one comes to me.
Yeah. And what do you use? Besides poking,
attack your face.
Besides poking your eyes out, how do you use these? I mean, I've used these with you, so I know. But just for our viewers, what do you do with these?
You just hold them out, just like. Oh, let me just go ahead, twist them right now. Go ahead. When you first start, they want to play.
Oh yeah.
Get it out of their system.
Duh.
Okay.
Whoa, see?
Okay, let's go neutral. Okay, you just hold them out, just like if you're going to be witching for water.
Yeah.
And you can ask, it's yes and no questions that you can ask.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can help find things.
Yeah.
So, a cross is a yes, and, with them going to the outside is normally a no.
Okay, is it normal for one to want to go?
It can.
Is there, okay, now, our house is kind of a hot spot. Any witch's house is going to be a hot spot for activity, but I like to call our house, like, the rest stop on the way through, because we got neighbors that me and Willow and Aurora and Graybeard did some ghost hunting next door. They have a lot of activity. And there's activity in other places, and we seem to get the spirits or whatever kind of pass through here, but they don't hang out too much. So I always
like fireflies to a light.
Yeah, they're like, "What's that?" And then
It's a beacon.
And then we turn the light off, and they're like, "Oh, well, bye." So you just ask yes and no questions.
You can ask it out loud, or you can think of it in your mind.
Yeah. It's almost like a pendulum.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same energy as a pendulum.
Energy.
Yeah. These are really, really cool. And does it when it goes kind of crazy at first, like this one is not moving at all. Oh, there it goes.
All you had to do is call it out.
I know. All right, so this is really cool. And you can get these where?
You can make your own.
Yeah.
Or there's the different ghost hunting sites.
Yeah.
You know, stores that you can buy these into.
These are really, really cool. I like these, and I got to play with them at Aria's house with you and Aurora and Aria. That was really fun. So, cool. You want to go ahead and open your suitcase I'll take these. Don't worry about. You don't want me to touch those other ones.
Oh, you can touch them.
You just don't want me playing with them.
With the clear handle one.
I got it. I'll take this.
That's mine.
That's hers.
That's
Do you want to look at
mine.
those?
They're mine.
I like the idea of these ones.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So show the camera.
Okay. I'm turning it on. God, if I can remember the names of these things.
Is that the electromagnetic? No. What is that?
Basically, it registers the energy level that's in the room.
EMF.
It's an EMF.
That's what I said. Electromagnetic field. Yeah.
We've got some 0.3 going on here in the house, but that's...
We've got electronics, and we have a lot of lights. And you have to take that into consideration, don't you?
Right. See, normally before you go into an investigation, you go in a couple days prior or
You're
whatever.
scooting a little more. I feel like you're... There you go.
Go in a few days prior.
We're going to get close.
And so what you do is you go around and get baseline.
Okay, yeah.
So that you know, okay, this is reading this, and this. So you know that, okay.
So anything above that baseline, then you know that, okay, that's something else that's not.
Right.
Okay.
The older the electronic is, the higher it's going to put out.
Okay.
Your refrigerators, your microwaves,
Yeah.
air conditioning.
Yeah.
And the worst of all is your oscillating fans.
Oh, okay.
Especially during the summertime.
Yep.
They can throw it over.
Now, when you go in, do you tell people... Is that why on the shows they turn off all the lights and stuff so they don't have that interference? Right. Or is that just to make it creepy? Or a little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So what else have you got in here?
I have the SB11.
And what is that?
Well, the SB11, it used to be, you can get the SB7, but the SB11 is now the bigger one, in which it goes through the radio stations. And it sweeps through it fast. You can go in reverse or forward. And when you pick up the words, because it's the white noise and you hear the
yeah,
it picks up the noises and words, and that's how they get their conversations.
So you need like, it's like a radio station for ghosts.
Right.
That you can hear their...
Right, it is the radio.
Or yeah.
Let's see, where's my... of course, it's in the dark, and with me having... and watch my batteries be dead. Okay, come on.
We got blind witches. And it's dark in here. There you go.
Okay.
So that's just like...
It's a white noise, and if I have it through the sweeping...
Well, now, what do you mean by the sweeping?
It goes through all your radio stations.
Like...
AM, FM.
Okay. All the frequencies. Okay.
And, you can put one on forward and the other one on reverse.
Okay.
It's a 2 setup.
Okay.
And to pick up noises.
So it'll pick up radio stations, and then you might have it pick up something that's not a radio station.
No, it's a radio station. Because you'll hear this, and you'll start hearing the voices, the people talking on the radio station.
Okay.
Answering your questions. It'll have your answer.
Really? Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Awesome. What else do you got in there? That looks like a drill.
I know. And this is another EMF.
Oh, okay.
Detector, and
you want to show that?
Well, they got the batteries off of this.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, batteries are off of it.
That's okay.
Because I lend this out to the group.
Yeah, and they get
So
Yeah,
And this is just a temperature gauge
Oh, okay.
for hot,
Yeah.
for hot spots and stuff.
Now, is it
Or cold.
cold? So, what is the common thing when there's spirit around? Is it?
It's cooler.
It's cooler.
It's cooler.
So, why would you go for the hot spots? What does that mean?
The hot spots could be.
You don't mean hot as in temperature, you mean hot as in activity?
Mm.
No, it's hot in temperature. It could be demonic.
Okay.
Water.
So,
Really?
yeah. We've run into some demonics.
So demonic spirits are hot?
The malevolence and all that.
I am having a little dry spot in my throat, but would you explain that more? Why is that?
I'm not really too sure, but we found that it tends to be hotter
Yeah.
to regular just spirit activity. Most of the time when we get called in to look at a house and the families will kind of not tell the truth, and we find the truth.
Really?
Because they mess with Ouija boards.
Oh, yeah. And stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scoot in more. I feel like
So-
I'm pushing you out.
Can I bring up, what's your stance on Ouija boards?
If you know how to use a Ouija board and know how to, once you open it and you
Know how to shut it down?
you have to shut it down.
But
If
that's
you
like
do
with
not
anything.
know-
Yeah.
Right, and they sell it as a regular kids
As a
game,
toy.
as a toy, and they don't tell you this.
Doesn't it say it on there, though, that you have to...
No,
I've
no,
always thought...
no.
Oh, it doesn't?
Not on
Oh.
the commercial ones. It's
should.
very much marketed
It's-
just as a toy.
Toy.
You have to go out into the greater world beyond Parker Brothers to find out.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. And
Okay.
people, they don't understand. If you don't close it, it's
Then you're leaving it open.
You're leaving
well,
it
it's
open.
the same concept of when we open the circle back
Yes.
up. You know, we
Right.
invite stuff in, and then
You
we're
invite-
like, dismiss.
You
Yeah.
have to dismiss it, and you have to tell it. It's got to go back to where it came from.
Yeah.
It's not allowed here.
Yeah.
Just like elementals.
Yeah. You gotta...
You gotta.
You
rein
gotta
it
dismiss
in.
those elementals. They're very feisty and
Right.
they'll cause trouble.
And like they say on TV, on the different shows, children don't always believe it's a child.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you so much for showing us all your stuff and telling us your stories.
And we also
And-
do cleansings.
Oh, yeah. Cleansings, which is what we did next door too. So that's important if you have ghosts in your house and they're going to tell you, yeah, there is, and then you can get rid of the ghosts.
Right.
Can you real quick explain that? What do you do to cleanse?
We have a psychic aboard the group,
Mhm.
and we can basically tell what type of spirit it is, whether or
Mhm.
not we need shamanic or just regular a Christian crossing over
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So
So they work with all.
yes,
You call in all the big guns. You know,
Yes.
you Christian deities, because you have people who are Christian,
right,
and will invite you over and be like,
yeah,
yeah. So it's not just pagan and Wiccan
Right.
stuff.
Stuff.
You're dealing with
right. You bring in
your Jesus
know.
and
your
yeah.
your archangels, and
Yeah.
your warring angels, and
Yeah.
yeah,
all that you can do.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah, because you got to respect them as what they believe in.
yeah. I think that's really cool. That shows you that you can work on all levels.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for telling us all. I think it's so awesome. We could go on and on. I could tell you stories, but we're going over 20 minutes, and people have short attention spans. So maybe we'll do a 2-part on this. Talk about we had experiences next door that were pretty crazy that we did at one of our coven sister Aria's house.
Yes.
Some experiences. We've seen some stuff. So. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for my live studio audience. Woo! Everyone clap! Yay! My teenage son is like, yay!
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week. I believe we might be talking about crafty stuff. Maybe we'll see. But join us next week for Witches and Wine. There's my son back there. Say hi, and merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. Bye, everybody. Drink wine.